Not bad. Pretty darn good.
That's good. How'd you guys get started? I guess we could go whoever wants to start talking first, your background, history, how you guys got connected. Um, yeah, all the
Are we
good stuff.
recording?
We are as of 10 seconds ago.
All
Oh,
right, sweet. You want to kick it off, McKay?
sure. Yeah, I can. Well, my name's McKay, and thank you, Dano, for having both of us on.
My pleasure.
Um, yeah, so I guess I started nutrition coaching. This was probably 2 years ago. And I really just found a passion for, I guess, fueling your body. And I think I found that passion when I was in dental assisting school. So I went to school initially for dental assisting, and during that, I didn't go away for college. I stayed at home. So all I had to do was cook and work out in school. So I
Okay.
really kind of just found my passion, I guess, while in school for something that I liked, but, wasn't really getting the job done, I guess. So I signed up for a nutrition certification through NCI, Nutritional Coaching Institute, and fell in love and just found my forever job, I guess you could say. So yeah, Jesse and I started working for a company together, and we kind of just had a few conversations and realized we wanted kind of our own brand and our own voice, I guess. So after, a couple conversations, we're like, let's start our own company, like a own Midwest, nutrition coaching kind of thing. And after that conversation, it was probably like 2 weeks or something after that conversation. We're like, let's get her done. Like, let's do this.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, it was really quick.
it
Yeah.
kind of took off. And I think Jesse and I mean, we have the same kind of passion for nutrition, and it's really, I mean, it's been great. It's been super fun, and it's been an honor to start this with him. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So that's a little bit about me, but I mean, I'm a full-time dental assistant and, nutrition on the side, and I'm just wanting to kind of move more into full-time nutrition. Hopefully within the next few years, at least. Braden, my fiance, is a chiropractic student, so I can't really pull the plug on my full-time job yet. So not yet, but it's
Not
coming.
yet. That's
Funny.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And Jesse, how did you get started in this? I've known you for quite a while,
Yeah.
but I just always knew you through like fitness competitions and didn't really know you were big into nutrition other than like posts of food you would eat. So what's your background in getting started in diving into nutrition? I watched your quarantine video you did with Michael like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, isn't that crazy how much like I feel like game day has kind of just connected just groups of people that you just start to see over and over again at competitions. I know it's a complete side note, but
no, that's like I sat down for my level 2 back in March, and this guy sat down 2 chairs next to me, and I was like, I know him somehow. And then he was like, Dano, what's up? I was like, I read his name tag. I was like, oh, Braden, how's it going? Long time no see.
That's my fiance.
that's how it goes, right? That's how it
And
goes.
like he was wearing all the train gear, and I was like, you
Yeah.
were selling train at game day. Yep. That's it. Got it.
That's funny. Gosh, yeah, it's hard to think of like where to start just because I feel like there's so much that's happened since college. I mean, I went to school for biokinetics, thinking I was gonna go like to PA school or PT school, some sort of grad school route. Then I realized that I just didn't want to do that. And personal training really wasn't something that I was interested in. And I know that like ever since I started in a gym, I was always asking trainers just like, I mean, when I was like in middle school, I was like, what supplements do I take? BCAAs? Do I take those? You know, like just random stuff like that. And I would take whatever he told me as like scripture, like, okay, purple wraith BCAAs on your, like, seriously,
I think
I
we've
still
all been
remember.
in that spot.
And I just like believed everything he said, right? And when I was a sophomore in college, I was at Stout for a semester, and my roommates and I decided to do a month of like no sugar, run 2 miles a day, eat less, party less. That's and like I felt like garbage after like a week. I mean, I was drinking water to like cure, I guess, like the hunger cravings I had. And I was like, at this point, I was like 152 pounds.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
you weigh less
Yeah.
than me. No.
Yeah. And for context, like right now I'm like 195. So
Yeah.
that's obviously a lot of change. And then, you know, as I jumped into the CrossFit space, I just started to learn things from my peers. I was at Allegiance Fitness, and when I was an intern there, I was buying Trader Joe's boxed chicken, which was 100 grams of protein per little box, and that's like literally all I ate for lunch was just that. I would eat an entire chicken box, and like I still felt like ass when I worked out, you know. And like when I went to competitions, I love Trader Joe's trail mix, so I would just eat handfuls of nuts when I was competing. And like between events, again, I wasn't like feeling great, so I just like continued to try to like learn new things. Eventually, I went through the nutrition cert. I went through Eat to Perform, which was good, but like my learning style is very like hands-on. And then I actually went through Working Against Gravity as well, and their cert was very case study based. So that worked really well for just my learning style. And then I had a member from the gym come up to me and ask me if I would help him with nutrition. That went well, and that kind of snowballed. And then I know I'm saying a lot of different things right now.
That's totally fine.
But yeah, anyway, so like McKay had touched on, we both worked for this company for a period of time. And I honestly, before KOR, I never imagined I'd be starting my own thing. It wasn't really something that was kind of on my radar until just like decisions were being made with the company I was with that just like were different than I would have, I guess, handled it. And when those situations popped up, I don't know. I was like, well, you know, maybe taking a step and a chance and starting our own thing. Like I knew if I was going to do it, I would need a teammate just because of like how I'm oriented. I love having like team dynamics and just like, you know, bounce ideas off each other. And I really wanted to have a brand that I really resonated with, that I was excited about. And, you know, McKay and I really believe that like when people are looking to make change, it's like foundational habits, you know. So like our components of KOR are protein intake, consistent movement, so not just your 1 hour workout in the day, caloric balance that are aligned with whatever your goals are, and then sleep. And like if you can like do really well with those 4 components, like you're likely to be progressing in the direction you want to go. So when we were thinking of names, we were thinking of platform and base and I mean, do you know some of the other ones, McKay?
I know we even thought of just CORE, just like core, just like fundamental.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, that's taken. So, and then either Carly thought of it or you did, I don't know, but you shot me a text. You're like, how about core? Like KO, you know, I'm like, oh, we got something. I like that.
Well, yeah, because actually, yeah, Carly and I were driving somewhere, and I even started going.
You were driving back from a photo shoot. You would, because we were chatting and at the photo shoot, and then we just, you know, kept saying like, we want our own voice and we want our own, you know, we want to call the shots basically. And we were, I know we were driving home and I was texting you and you're texting me and you're like, how about KOR? Like, are we doing this? Like, let's do this.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, like McKay was saying, I mean, I was actually at one point even in Google Translate typing in different words, and I typed in core. It was like, so I lived in Holland for a period of time, and I was looking at like Dutch words, and so I typed in core, but when I typed in the English word core, the phonetic spelling popped underneath. So it's just K, then the O with the arrow above it, and R, and we're like, yeah, look at that, we're K wearing on a T-shirt. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. And yeah, actually pretty shortly after that, McKay set the LLC up. We started building the website, and I mean, the rest is history. Here we are.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And who do you guys work with? Anybody that you wouldn't work with? Is it like for anybody and everybody trying to get healthier? I see you guys have a lot of people through Timberwolf Fitness in Roseville. Nick from Tooth and Nail just shared about you guys the other day.
Yeah.
I guess whoever wants to tackle that question.
Yeah. I think we both kind of started in the CrossFit realm, both being, local competitors. And I mean, my background with CrossFit, like I was training this was probably 2 years ago, but I was training, 2 hours a day and just to be a local competitor. And I was not eating what I should have been eating. And I never really had that guidance, like, okay, you're training a lot. Like, let's actually eat to fuel and recover. And I wish I had that, that help and that guidance. So I think that's kind of where we started first is, with CrossFit athletes. But yeah, I kind of have a mix of Gen Pop and athletes and yeah, kind of everyone
That's
looking at his weight.
that's
And
how it works with the nutrition stuff too. Like, uh, we are both pretty invested in CrossFit, so a lot of our clients are from the CrossFit space. But then our CrossFit clients have, cousins,
yeah.
members, church group members, whatever it is that, and like the referrals kind of just take you in different directions. So I wouldn't say we're like, uh, I mean, CrossFit is, I think, our bread and butter in a way, just because that's the space we live in. Uh,
Mhm.
but we're willing to work with anyone regardless of the goal that they have.
Mhm. And I really like, side note too, just when people come to me, like I've been on a really low carb diet and it's really hard to get together with my family members or, at a social gathering, and I feel like I can't eat anything. And I think, everyone has some type of experience with that. And I just want to be a voice for people. Like, you don't have to restrict and you don't have to, cut out a food group or anything to either lose weight or, gain muscle, obviously. But yeah, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Awesome. And I guess backtracking a little bit, one question I normally ask people is who inspired you guys growing up to become who you are now or who you want to be, whether that fits into the KOR method or just personal life?
Ooh, that's
Good
hard.
reaction, Jesse.
I was gonna you should have warned us about this question. No. I'm trying to think. I would probably say, growing up, my mom, she probably walked like everywhere. She walked probably 4 or 5 miles a day. She would walk to the gas station or grocery store, get a Red Box movie, or so she kind of was kind of set the tone, like working out. And both my parents ate, pretty fairly well. And my dad was a football player. He used to squat, 700 pounds, just a badass. And so I think just growing up in a very active family, and I have a twin brother and an older brother, and they were both, baseball and football players. And I think just growing up with sports and eating relatively, healthy, quote unquote. But yeah, I would say my parents and my family for sure. And now my fiance, I mean, he tracks his macros and is a competitive CrossFitter too. So we kind of fuel each other in our daily routines a little bit. So, and if I'm slacking, he'll kind of whip me into shape, and if he's slacking, right back at him. So
Awesome.
Yeah, gosh, that's such a hard question.
It really is.
Well, like my mind immediately goes into the nutrition space, like who I look up to as like who I want to learn from, and um, I really like Lane Norton and Jason Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just have a very I mean, I don't know if you are familiar with Lane Norton, but he's one of the guys that really, I think, started flexible dieting back in the bodybuilding forums way back when, it was like bodybuilders getting ready for a stage and they were eating like Pop-Tarts. And they're like, look, I'm eating Pop-Tarts, but I'm also getting shredded, that sort of thing. And he really just cuts through a lot of the BS out there, and I just appreciate that about him, and he's so smart. So I think he's really someone I look up to a lot in the nutrition space, and Jason Phillips too. I think he's done something really cool with it's Iron 3.
I agree. Yeah, both very successful and very big people in the space.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of people on his team that different fields that they're really focused on, whether it's hormones or, I mean, you name it. I just think it's really cool how these people have built these teams that are balanced and just give out really good content. I think I really appreciate what they do. So,
Awesome. And who helped you guys find the work ethic that you guys have now? Because obviously starting a business takes a lot of work. I've been a part of several companies and businesses over the last like 5 years, and I've seen some that don't work out and some that like absolutely flourish. Who helps you guys, like who helped you growing up now find that work ethic that makes for a successful business?
I mean, I think again, this is
hard one, Dano.
Yeah, just dig it real deep. Well, I think going back to earlier where I said that I really like having a team dynamic. I think just having McKay and Carly. She's in the picture too. She's the one who's handling the photography, the social media, the branding, our logo, everything that you're seeing really come out as far as content, like the design of the content. She's behind all of that, and I think just having a team has been so important on that front. I mean, the business stuff is so new to us. I think even basic things like managing books, like finances, that's like not my world. Like naturally, it's kind of funny how it's worked out because it's kind of been organic. Like McKay and Braden kind of manage that side, and I collaborate a lot with Carly on like what we're going to be putting out on social media and like getting those pictures taken and posts put together. So like we kind of just naturally fallen into different little compartments. But we also realized that starting, especially nutrition business in this day and age, there's a lot of them already out there. So we have to be consistent. We have to be putting out good information that people will want to like connect with us. And we have to do our jobs well in order to continue to drive those referrals and grow. So I think like I don't know if there's like I just think our team dynamic and like understanding that these things need to be done has just kind of driven us all to, work towards whatever we need to do.
Yeah, I think we're very, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. We're very supportive of each other and we collaborate really well. And I think that's kind of how you make a dream work, is to have people in your corner and to have that support, especially. So, and especially, I mean, I am not one to lay out 2 months of content, you know, on Instagram. So having Carly's mind and having her vision and her eye and her creativity has been a blessing. It's just, I mean, she's taken our dream, and I say this a lot, but she's taken our dream and just created it, and I don't know, just I've a lot of thanks are given to her, and I don't think she knows how much we appreciate her.
Well,
So
it's crazy how,
so shout out Carly Creative on Instagram.
yeah. Do you need any sort of branding, at Carly Creative for sure. It's just like there have been times where ideas popped in my head as far as like what I want the image to look like. And I'll like even play around with some of the software things that she's used, and it's like clip art. It looks terrible. It's like person, like a little whatever it is, and then she takes it and then just makes it look so sharp. And it's just, I'm continually blown away by the work she puts out.
Yeah, she got an eye.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's awesome.
What was your original question? Like work ethic, I think?
Yeah. Who helped you guys find your work ethic?
I think I would say, and I'm just going back to family too, like growing up with a twin brother and an older brother, and both of my parents worked full time. Like my dad owned his own company. My mom was a dental hygienist. And they didn't have their parents around them, or around us, I guess, to help or to babysit. And so I think growing up and watching them just, make a living and make our lives the best they could, I think kind of laid the groundwork. So yeah. So props to my parents. Thank you guys. If you guys
Awesome.
Listen.
Does McKay, does your dad give Braden shit that he could squat 700?
He probably has, yeah. Funny. So super strong, yes, and he was a badass football player, but he can shotgun a beer like no one's business either. He can outdrink like anyone, even Braden. I mean, Braden's not a big drinker, but but yeah, I mean, now if he plays like golf or bowling, I mean, he's sore for days, my dad. But he's just got really bad arthritis, and they just didn't have the preventative stuff back then, like Ramwad and all that mobility stuff. So yeah, he just,
that's crazy.
I know, he's kind of painful now, but
700 pounds is so much weight.
I know, he's a badass.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So.
Is like the first the workout we did on Saturday at the level 2 was just 5 sets of 3 heavy front squats, and I was like, and so like Braden's over on the left and squatting with like more weight than pretty much everyone else there, and I was like,
funny.
That's a lot. I was like, that's heavy.
That's a lot.
And then they're like, all right, Dano, we found an 18-inch box. See what you can do. And I was like, all right, got the bar.
Oh, you can do more than that.
I was like, they're like, you're not sending your hips back. That's like, squat the bar. Just use the bar. I was like, all right, we're going to use the bar.
Kind of bring it down a little bit.
It's like, just the bar? Okay.
Yeah, fine.
So what are, not so deep of a question, what books would you guys recommend or have read in the past few months, especially during lockdown or previous to lockdown, that you would recommend or have found helpful to you that maybe someone else could find helpful?
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I don't know books off the top of my head. Let's see. Braden he reads, I swear, like a book every 2 weeks on just like personal development, and so he could probably give you like 5 right off the top of his head, but I'm gonna look mine up. I've read one over quarantine. Let's see. How about you, Jesse? Do you read?
It's definitely something that I need to do more. It's like I have a couple books, not even like just self-development books. I have just like this fiction book that my sister gave me, that I really like wanted to dive in, but I just honestly I haven't been reading much. The last book I read all the way through was actually one of those self-development books. It was Daring Greatly by Brene Brown,
Okay.
Okay.
and I thought it was really cool. It was just about vulnerability, and I think, in the nutrition space especially, um, I mean, I know guys struggle with being vulnerable in general. I mean, myself included, I think it's easy to kind of just put a face on and not like just show whatever you're feeling. And then like with nutrition coaching, it's so personal at times that um, I really just see the importance of vulnerability in the nutrition space, because that really helps as a coach us to connect and guide and work through whatever barriers that you're like experiencing. And if there isn't progress being made, but you're also not being transparent with like certain things that are going on in your life that may be causing stress or things you're running into, then it's hard as a coach to guide you through that. So
Yeah.
I think just her points on vulnerability and how to really become more aware of being vulnerable. Um, I think that's really where transformation happens. So
Yeah. It's just like that Instagram post that you made about that. I
yeah,
think a lot of people clicked with that. I found my book. It's called Change Maker. Turn your passion for health and fitness into a powerful purpose and a widely successful career. And that was kind of the book that I kind of dove into with quarantine. And I really just got to thinking, like, the dental world, love it, but it's just not, I mean, it's not what I want to do for, the rest of my life. And picking up this book and just getting that thought process going on, okay, I actually want to make this, full time and really dive in. I think that made that conversation with Jesse a lot easier. And I am so happy that we had that conversation. And now we have the KOR Method. So, yeah. And that's by John Berardi. So, and I think he's the creator of Precision Nutrition. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I used to watch his videos on my break when I worked at a 24-hour fitness gym. Like,
Oh, nice.
and they'd be like, "What are you watching?" It's like, nutrition.
Yep.
It's like, all right.
Heaven forbid.
It's like
We're out of
science. What is this?
yeah, right.
how about you, Dana? What's the good book that you read recently?
I bought a membership to Audible. So
Oh,
then
I love Audible.
so every month I get a free book.
Yeah.
So I like deleted my Spotify premium and I was like, I'll just pay the same amount for a book every month. So I listened to Shoe Dog, the memoir of Phil Knight, the owner of Nike.
Yeah.
Cool.
That
That's a
was
cool story.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Like
a good read.
selling shoes out of the trunk of his car to now like him and his wife donate $100 million to charity every year and like sit at
Yeah.
tables with like Bill Gates and like all these other rich people and just like Warren Buffett. And it was like, oh, like you
Nice.
had an idea to put like a check mark on a shoe and like he wanted to call it like the Falcon, not Nike. And then they're like, no, we're gonna call it Nike. And they're like, he hated it. And now it's just like, well, glad we didn't call it the Falcon.
Falcon.
Well,
That's
was it
funny.
some I don't know. Well, I mean, you all
Oh, you cut out.
like, I don't know. Hello? You still there?
I can hear both of you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought I cut
you're
out.
there.
I
Okay.
thought the Nike logo was like you said, like wasn't it rejected a few times before it actually like got pushed through?
Yeah, he like got this girl from one of the colleges. He's like, hey, like she started working for them and he's like, hey, I need you to draw up a symbol or like a
Mm-hmm.
design. And she like drew the swoosh, but like the first few designs were crap. And then he didn't have any time left. And he's like, all right, I guess we're using that. And like,
Oh,
just
funny.
threw it on the shoe.
That's funny.
And
Cool.
they were like, they had all their bright orange boxes at this big like shoe convention, and like everybody else had like normal like colored boxes, and all these people came up, they're like, oh, this is awesome. And he's like, this is stupid, none of our shoes like match.
He
And
didn't even like
no.
what he was producing. That's funny.
And then like as soon as I finished the book, like I went on my Nike app just for fun to see if they had any like cool new shoes, and they released like a version of the Nike Cortez, which was like the original one, but called it the Falcon, and like had the
Oh,
Falcon design on it. And I was like, no way, they just made this again. Like it's been like 50 years.
I have to go look at it.
So
Nice.
I don't know if they're available anymore. Like they sold out of my size within like 30 seconds. So
Oh, wow.
What?
I know, like by the time I even logged in, they were sold out on my size. I was like, oh, okay. But that Shoe Dog is one. How Champions Think is a good one. And then the best hour of their
Oh,
day.
you guys cut out.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
Can you hear us, McKay?
Now you're here.
Oh, okay.
I'm outside. It's
Oh.
probably cutting in and out.
Okay. The best hour of their day by Jason Ackerman. He was like my level 1 coach back like 5 years ago and got me my first CrossFit job ever. He wrote the book, The Best Hour of Their Day, where he just gives a bunch of like tips and tricks on how to coach better, how to like run a business better, because he had a bunch of successful CrossFit boxes. And like now he owns his own nutrition company with his wife, which is the nutrition cert I have. It's the Own Your Eating.
Oh my gosh, you're cutting out.
Jesse, you getting all this?
When you're eating.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing it all.
Okay. Yeah, so Jason and his wife Roz have Own Your Eating Nutrition. So I took their nutrition cert a little over a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're pretty cool. So those are like the 3 books I would recommend for you guys and for other people to read.
Cool. Yeah. That's that.
All right, we're getting a walk around during the podcast today.
Garbage cans.
Yeah, this is the new house, isn't it, McKay?
This is a new house.
Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We bought a house for our chocolate lab, so there's
Perfect.
that. To have a
Spoiled
yard. The things you do for a dog.
Yeah, we have a 1-bedroom apartment and a German Shepherd. So.
Oh my. Yeah.
So like he runs around it and just does laps. It's hilarious.
Oh, funny.
So what's on the horizon for you guys? Future plans, personal, other than getting married or just getting married? Jesse,
hop on.
This is some pressure.
Business-wise, personal, future plans, you guys?
I think we're going to try to get into more gyms around the area. So a little bit more CrossFit gyms, just kind of get our name out there for, the Midwest Nutrition Company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of our goal right now, is to really just get KOR known in Minnesota, Midwest, by the boxes that are here, and really just becoming a trusted nutrition resource. And we'll see kind of how things pan out. And there are definitely people I think that I would love to have on our team at some point. I think nutrition is awesome, and I think we'll just see how kind of things shake out. I don't want to there are definitely ideas that we've talked about. It's just we don't want to do too much too soon. So we're kind of just starting here, and we'll see how things shake out. So
awesome. And where can people find you guys?
Ooh, on the gram.
Well, we have a website, we have Instagram, Facebook. So it's www.thekormethod.com.
KOR.
Yeah, KOR, good call out. Yeah, it's KOR Method. Yeah. And then otherwise on Instagram, it's at the KOR Method, or on Facebook at the KOR Method.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining me on the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dana. This was fun.
Having us.
You're welcome. I will get this out